who has he been compared to? By people on this network. David Pollack, Ryan Clark. By the way, Jim Mora. A lot of people compared Zach Wilson to Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes. Even at first, if they're like, what, you're making that comparison? They went and watched, film and said, oh, yeah, I can see it. Now, Mina Kimes was on this show months and months ago saying, because I did the same thing. I YouTubed it. Oh, my God, maybe he should go before Justin Fields. This kid's great. And Mina pointed out, Booger, that, look, he's playing with a great offensive line against defenders, not like he's going to see in the NFL, and these are some of his growing pains. But if we're just saying based on talent, expectations, draft position, et cetera, is it fair to make that comparison? It is fair.
I believe it's fair as well because, like Booger said, I wasn't taking it in a literal sense. What he's saying is that if one of the greatest, if not the greatest, you call Peyton Manning the greatest regular season quarterback, Max, yep, in NFL history, okay? We all know that he was worthy of his Hall of Fame induction. He's one of the greatest ever. So if one of the greatest ever, who was so brilliant that offensive coordinators didn't even call the plays, they left it up to him pretty much his entire career. When you're that great, but in your first year in the National Football League, you had 26 touchdowns and threw 28 interceptions, okay? The fact of the matter is that what Saleh was saying is that if somebody like that is going to make those mistakes, we should expect that from any rookie. That's all he was saying. That's where the comparisons start and stop. In other words, don't expect this guy to come out looking like, a polished individual. He's going to have some rough edges. He's going to have some tough times, and that's just the way that it's going to go. Me personally, the only thing that I would say to Saleh is that if you feel high enough for him, if you feel that high for him, and one would argue that you do since he was picked number 2 overall, even though we all remember Ryan Leaf was also picked number 2 overall, so let's not forget that. All right, Jamarcus Russell was once picked number 1 overall. Let's not forget that. In the end, what it comes down to is the franchise and the culture and the personnel that you surround that player with. And I'm looking at this Jets roster, and let me just give you some names. Jamison Crowder from Washington, we know about him. Denzel Mims, we'll learn about him. Corey Davis came over from Tennessee. We know a little bit about him. Keelan Cole comes over from Jacksonville. We know a little bit about him. Give the guys a chance. Let them show what they got. But in the end, when I think about a quarterback, I think about the system and I think about the personnel that you're playing with. Because especially when you're a rookie, that's going to have a hell of a lot to do with your success or lack thereof.
Stephen, I think you make a good point about the players around him. As far as the system is concerned, we talked about the system in San Francisco with Kyle Shanahan being the best system for a young quarterback to come into. And we said Trey Lance is in a really good position. Well, let's not forget that Mike LaFleur is coming over and he's the offensive coordinator for the Jets. So if the 49ers system is the best, then the guy that's bringing the 49ers system to the Jets has to have a really good system also. So I think Zach Wilson is going to be in really good shape. The talent is not great, but I do think, unlike some of the other rookie quarterbacks in this league, present and past, he's going to be in a really good position to succeed because they're going to take advantage of what he does well, which is use his athleticism, get him in those off-platform situations where he can use that Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers-like arm. So I do think he's not going to struggle as much as Peyton Manning did his rookie year. But come on, man, it's the National Football League. All rookies are going to struggle, but he won't do it as much as some of those guys.
Who doesn't struggle? You know who doesn't struggle? The rookies who don't play. Patrick Mahomes didn't struggle as a rookie because he didn't play. And then his second year, he took the world by storm. Here's the thing about Zach Wilson and the way the Jets are doing it. I don't care what he does this year. This year's not what it's about. The Jets went about this exactly right. And when they drafted Vera Tucker, Boog, and Stephen A., I was like, oh, that is really smart. They have Becton. They have like a great young left tackle. They put a guy who's like can't miss at left guard. And now the left side of that line is set with a young, dynamic quarterback. They're not ready to do anything in the AFC East this year. They're going to be in last place by a whole lot. But going forward, if you have a quarterback and an O-line, you're in business, and I think they do.
You need stop it. Stop it. Damn it, you were born in the Bronx. You were born in the Bronx. You live in New York City at least half the time now. You know New York, okay? being in the New York market's a little bit different. You can sit up there and say, well, he's not going to do anything this year, and I get that part from a literal sense. But don't act like doing nothing in New York in year one just because you're a rookie and you got a new head coach, and it doesn't matter in the New York market. Because that has crushed.
Addressing that. He's already managing that.
Wait. I'm addressing it. I'm saying it's crushed a lot of souls. You've seen it, Max. You've witnessed it. Booger, you've witnessed it. There are dudes, because we talking about the mental. I get tired of everybody just looking at people's physical ability. There are people who shrink mentally because of the environment.
But we don't know that until we see it. We can't
that's
assume
what I'm saying.
that
That's
one way or
a reason to be
another.
concerned.
We got to see it. We got to see it.
That's a reason to be concerned if you're sticking up the joint.
It's going to be rough sledding as a rookie for Zach Wilson. We'll see how he reacts to the New York media.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.